Okay, so I've got this collection of objects here on this table, and they are what is called a still life. Whenever you draw or paint a picture of objects, it's called a still life, because look, they're still. They're not moving. So what I want to do is show you how I would go about starting a drawing of these objects. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with one object, this one right here in the center. And I'm going to build out from it, because I'm going to use this one to measure like where everything else goes. What I'm doing, like I said, I'm looking at the wooden object, and I am going to start with that. So I'm going to put that right in the middle of my paper because it's in the middle of what I'm looking at. And I'm looking at these angles here with my pencil, and I'm kind of seeing, okay, they're not vertical, they're slightly bent, just slightly. So instead of vertical, they're a little out like this. And I'm just being really loose, and I'm just really lightly sketching because I want to get an idea of where everything belongs. Now this guy is right in the middle. See that? If I want to make sure he's in the middle, one little trick is to draw an X from corner to corner, like this. And this tells me where that cylinder goes in the middle. So, and when I draw a cylinder, what I do is I draw a circle for the base, and it's not a circle, it's called an ellipse, it's an oval, because I'm looking at this at an angle, it's not a perfect circle, okay? This is a perfect circle, but as I tilt it, it becomes an oval. So I'm going to start with a vertical line because this wooden pole sticks straight up. So I'm going to use a tool because there is no harm in using a ruler. That actually, if you're drawing geometric objects, you need a ruler. So this kind of marks my height. And I'm already, look at this. I'm already looking at this and I'm seeing, okay, this base should be much smaller because this base is way shorter compared to it, right? So I'm going to make that base smaller. I'm going to make this whole box smaller. Trying to keep it in the middle, going smaller. Notice how I'm drawing very fast, very loose. That's important. I'm not really worrying about mistakes right now. So I'm going to put a vertical line coming up from one side, vertical line coming up from the other side. I pushed too hard there. I don't like that I pushed that hard. It should be narrower. I'm looking at that and I'm seeing it should be much narrower, so I'm going to make that narrower. Change it. That looks better to me. Quick erase. Now what I need to do is figure out the size of everything. So if I'm looking at this guy, I'm not going to measure, I'm just holding this so you can see what I'm talking about. The way I'm looking at it, the plant is taller than the wooden piece. The peppermint tea box is shorter. The book hits right at halfway. Oh no, I moved it. Don't move it. The book hits right there. This leaf right here is the same height as the wooden piece. The mannequin, the way I'm looking at it, I'm seeing the middle of the forearm lines up with the top there. I'm also seeing that the lantern is way taller. The lantern is actually slightly taller than the ramen noodles, but the tallest thing here is the mannequin or this leaf right there. Okay, so I'm paying attention to heights. The reason why I'm paying attention to heights is so that I can figure out where it all goes relative on here. So I notice that the mug starts here and it's no taller than that. This is where the mug should go, like this. The mug is short and fat. I think it can go a little taller just based on what I'm looking at. So here's where my mug goes. Now the mannequin is sticking out of the mug. So I'm just drawing a stick figure. Here's the pole holding the mannequin. The waist of the mannequin goes here. It's about the same height as the top of the wooden cylinder. Body of the mannequin. Head's gonna go off the page. It'll be up here. That's okay, I'm not worried about it. There's this big bracelet thing that the mannequin is holding right here. Arm goes up off the page. Here's the other arm. And remember I said lining up with the top should be the forearm. So here's the forearm, elbow, the other arm. So very light, very loose. It doesn't even look like a mannequin right now. That's okay. Now I'm looking at the lantern, and I'm seeing that the lantern is above this line. It's above the wood, okay? It's just slightly. So here's the bottom of the lantern. Now another thing I'm noticing is I'm looking at the bottom of the lantern. Bottom of the lantern sticks out past the wooden thing, okay? It's probably hits like that, okay? That's the bottom of the lantern. The lantern, the midsection, right here, lines up with the top of it. So this is probably where the midsection piece should go that I just tapped on. Now we're working on the top of it like this. And then here's where the lid goes with the little thing sticking out. Okay, so I'm just getting general size issues here. Here's the big handlebar thing. It comes down at an angle, like this. So I want an angle coming down. There's another one over here. That's how it attaches. Doesn't attach way down there though, so I need to make this a little smaller. It attaches like this. So I'm changing the size as I go. It's better to change the size when you're loose than when you're detailed. Here's the big bubble thing that contains the light bulb. The light bulb comes out right there. Basic shapes. Now I'm going to look at the book and the boxes. And what I'm seeing is the bottom of the book, from the way I'm looking, lines up with the bottom of the lantern. This part of the book lines up about halfway here. This box hits right there. So now I'm going to add that. So the box, the corner of the box hits here. There's some space. So the box should not go past this line. Corner. Here's the book. Book kind of meets like that. Need this diagonal for the book. Continue my peppermint tea box. There's the curry cup. Curry cup should be the same height as the lantern, so I'm gonna let this curry cup kind of go off the page, make it just that little bit taller. Basic sizes of things. I also did not yet include the handle for the mug. I did not yet include the plant. And the plant, the way I'm looking at it, is it's lining up with the corner of the piece of wood. So that's where the bottom of the plant should go. Plant has a lot of space. Plant's going way off the page. Plant's over here. There's the pot. Here's a leaf sticking out like this. Here's a stem. That stem has more leaves that stick out. Get the basic sizes in there. Then it becomes time to start adding details. Now that I have all the basic shapes in, I can start erasing lines I don't need and really refining things. There's a piece of cardboard, kind of sticks on top of that like that. There's another piece that's a lot straighter. I want to talk to everybody for just a moment about adding text, okay? Because there is a word on this mug. And that word is printed with a font. That word looks perfect. If I was to just try to freehand that word, that would be difficult. So what I need to do is look at imagine it's in a box. So here's the top of the word shine. See, that's a straight line. The bottom is a straight line, but it's not straight because it's curved. It's curved around it. So I need to add to this drawing a curved box. So here's the top line of the curved box that the word shine fits into. And here's the bottom line. Then I'm using like little stick figure lines. I'm just making the letters in lines like this. Then I'm going to go back and block them out. So now they're going to be shapes. I want to talk to you about measuring, okay, because you can measure with your pencil like this, okay? So I can measure, this is called thumb measuring. So I'm going to put my thumb where the bottom of the mannequin is. That tells me how tall the mannequin is compared to something else. So if I compare it to the curry is half the height. Does that make sense? I can also use the pencil to figure out, is this a straight line? In the middle it is, but here it's an angle. See? So you can take your pencil and line it up to see straight line, this one's straight up and down, but this one's slanted.